All right. Happy Saturday. Just checking to make sure the stream came up for everybody. Let's pop out the chat here. Put it over where I can see it. Like that. All right, it says we're up. It says we are in excellent condition. I got an email notification that we're live. Like everything's working the way it's supposed to, or something. I'm gonna wait a second here until I see there's Sean in the stream. Everything coming up okay, Sean? You never know with this stuff. It's still a little bit of black magic. All right. One of the interesting things that I've noticed as a difference between YouTube and Mixer is that the delay between what I'm actually doing and it showing up on stream, pretty crazy. I mean, it's probably a good 30 seconds or so between like when I ask Sean how everything's going and then it's showing up. That was one of the things with Mixer. It was sub 2 seconds. I mean, it was amazingly fast for how long it took to get from my desktop, from my setup, from the studio to the service, and then show up on stream. So I'm still trying to get a little bit used to the fact that I'm always going to be 30 seconds ahead of everyone. But I think that's probably a small issue. We'll get over that one. All right, so we've got everything set up. Welcome. It is Saturday. We are going to brick, and in this case, we are going to hopefully finish up. We've only got a handful of bags left. We went through 6 bags on the stream on Thursday, which was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. But we are working on the Tantive 4. So this is Lego set 75244. It's actually been a pretty fun and reasonably easy build. There are some, like we did the A-Wing, even the A-Wing, which I don't think is that many more pieces than the Tantive, but the A-Wing was pretty intricate when it came to the pieces that needed to be put together and how it was put together, and even just really dense, being able to see in the instructions where we were going. So this one has been pretty smooth. It's been pretty fun. It's actually bigger than I expected it to be. So you can see that the full frame here, I'm probably closing in on 2 feet, maybe not quite that much. But it's been pretty fun. And the last bag that we did, which was bag 6, we did these two outside motors on the back. And then it looks like, if we're checking the instructions, it looks like bag 7 is going to be more of the superstructure after we flip this over. So it looks like we've got some framing out of the outside of the ship that we're going to do on the front. Now, it'll be interesting because on the bottom here, it's really stable. Everything is kind of flat and on the same level, so building while it's upside down is going to be okay. Flipping it over and building on it right side up, it looks like we've got a touch point here. We've got this beam that's sticking out here. We've got the top here, and then I guess we're going to set on the top of these 4. It doesn't look like they've got us building any landing gear or anything like that yet. So that's what we've got so far. It looks like, we did the bricks part. Now we do the beverage part. As a group of adults who like playing with Lego, I think the only thing that makes it better is having a drink with it. So tonight, for me, This is lemonade hard seltzer. I think we talked about this on last stream, not a fan of the hard seltzer much at all. Apparently you make it lemonade flavored. Can I get over that real quick? So we've got some bricks. We've got some beverages. I have a new tech trick that I'm going to try tonight with the stream. So we'll see how that goes. And hope maybe we'll even show that off here at the beginning if we're going to do a build of the minifig. All right, so we have bag number 7, and there's not a lot in here, but we do have a cape. You can see the little box that the capes come in for our minifig. Big box, big bag and a little bag. All right, so it looks like here on first page of step 7, we're going to actually build this minifig. So we will take the cape out of our little bag here. And I don't know what color to call this. Here, I'll hold it up here so that you guys can see it with a little bit of clarity. I don't know what color to call this. It's actually got a little bit of a texture in it, which is neat. It's not just a solid piece of plastic. It's got some texture to it, which I can really only see when I look through it at the light, which is kind of cool. And then we've got, I'm guessing this is Bale Organa. Be my guess. Unlike Leia, who had a fierce face and a smirking face, Bale only has one face. Probably for the best. So, I'm gonna put his cape on, like so. Put the head on. True story, the only reason my daughter likes Lego is because of the minifigs. She will choose the ugliest, most non-fun set ever made as long as there are minifigs involved. All right, so there's Bale Organa, and I think on that camera, probably pretty hard to see. I'm gonna try something. In my nerd day job, I do lots of stuff with NDI broadcasting, so taking video signals and sending them over Ethernet for lots of different things at work. And I have been playing around today with the NDI plugin for Android phones. And so I think I can show you. Look at that. There's the minifigs. There's the Bale Organa that we just did. There is Princess Leia, and she's got both skirt and pants because she's a badass. And then we've got Random Trooper, who's going to have a really, really, really bad time when Darth Vader finds him. So there we go. We've got the 3 minifigs. This actually works out really cool. And we've got the actual ship. And so this is cool enough for me to be able to use it as a way to kind of detail out on things, or when we take it over and we plug it in or put it over on the shelf to be able to show off kind of what we're doing about it. And then when we're not using it, we can just get rid of it and go back to our overhead. That's so cool. That's total nerd things. Like, I agree. I'm sure there are a fair number of you out there just Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't turn off the audio on the NDI. So I wonder if it was picking up both of the audios. Yeah, I think I did. See, the moral of this story is test before you do things live. You know, kind of like the always be prepared with a backup when live demoing at a conference. I did none of that today. I actually had a pretty intense day, which we can talk about at some point here on stream. So if the video worked, that means that all I really have to do is turn off the audio portion of the NDI and just bring the video over. I mean, I'm assuming, I was trying to watch the stream while I was doing that. I'm assuming that the audio or the video came over fine. If that's the case, then I just need to mute the audio from the NDI side of things, and that'll be cool. So anyway, that was kind of geeky. I really liked it. Maybe we'll try it again later, and I'll actually mute the audio this time. Because live without a net, why not? Why not? All right, so let's get started on bag 7. YOLO, absolutely. All right, so looks like we're going to, okay, we got to flip this over. Now I'm interested to see how this lays after I flip it over. Yeah, it's not as solid as the other side. Like there's a little bit of give. Like it feels like they're all on the same level, but it's much more flexy than the other side, which had something nice and flat to lay on. So we'll just have to be a little bit careful with it. We can't kind of push down real hard on it as we go. That'll be okay. All right. Interesting. The other rule of streaming is never, ever, ever stream over Wi-Fi. Oops. The fun part is I have an entire room set upstairs that's just for, it's got 2 entire streaming setups that I can use, that the kids can use for streaming games, that sort of thing. But there's no place to put the overhead side of things. So I'm downstairs on the gaming table that is in what used to be the dining room. And there's no possible way to get a LAN drop down here. Like I don't know that I put a single LAN drop. No, that's not true. Okay, I take that back. I think I could get a LAN drop over here. It would be ugly. It certainly wouldn't be permanent. But I bet you I could do it. All right, so maybe this will be the last stream you have to suffer over Wi-Fi. Maybe. We'll see. What I'd love to figure out is a way to make this whole rig portable so that I could set it up upstairs in the studio and then tear it down. It's not a huge amount of work to get everything put back where it needs to be. It's just, it's pretty big. Yeah. Nick, I love you, but I need you to do me a favor and never talk to me about cable management. Never. That said, you're probably right. I absolutely, because behind me and to my left is where I brought 2 Ethernet drops for all the AV stuff that's downstairs. And I think I could probably get one over here. I think I could do it. See, this is where my instinct is to put it on there and just press down, but I'm just worried that that's going to cause issues. So I'm going to hold it underneath while I push down on it just to make sure. Just drag a cable across the floor. What is today's date? The 27th? All right. Well, we're closing in on one of my favorite times of the season. And not because it's 4th of July, although I have no problems with 4th of July. We're quickly closing in on people on Nextdoor losing their minds about fireworks season, which is kind of fun. What's Nick say? No stream beats tonight. Oh, good call. I think that's just I didn't turn them on. Let's see. But I hate Nextdoor. I hate the app. I hate everything about it. And then mute you. All right, there you go with the stream beats, Nick. Let me know if that's coming through okay. I hate not getting to pick the people that I interact with. I hate not getting to curate my own group of people. That's not to say I don't like being challenged by a group of people. That's not to say that I don't like having diverse voices in that group of people. But one of the things that I disliked most about Facebook, and extraordinarily dislike about Nextdoor, is this idea that just because we all live in the same place that I want to hear you. And I make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? I bet you I can. It's just a window. That's not too bad. All right. Is this idea that we all live in the same neighborhood and therefore we all need to have intellectual discussions about different things? And no, I'm not interested in that. But that said, people just universally lose their minds about fireworks, and sometimes it's dogs, and sometimes it's kids, and sometimes it's whatever. And there's literally nothing that a good noise machine can't fix, but people lose their minds over it. And they get crazy. Like, it gives them free license to go nuts. And we've seen all of the Karens screaming about, you know, my doctor gave me a note saying I don't have to wear a mask, and like just going batshit crazy these days. Nextdoor is like a whole nother level. And so we've had people talking about how the fireworks are actually a ploy by the police to traumatize citizens before they come in and start arresting people. We've had 5G conspiracies. We've had Antifa is using it as cover for the assassination of political officials. Like, it's crazy the number of things that I've seen on Nextdoor over the last week, and this is just ramping up. Like, this is just getting into the 4th of July season. So I encourage you, even if you don't use Nextdoor normally, man, you got to sign up for 4th of July. 4th of July, it's a thing. From all different directions, it's a thing. I can't recommend it highly enough for the next few days. It'll be pretty great. All right, now looks like we're probably going to build 2 of these, one in each direction. The thing that amuses me most about Nextdoor is that there's a huge subset of people who look at it like, finally there's a group I can talk to. And then there's an entire group of people who look at it just as performance art. Like, they are literally just watching the train wreck. They're watching the car wreck and kind of seeing what happens. And nobody realizes that, like, for every one person that's on there who's actually trying to communicate better with their neighbors, there's 10 people who are just grabbing popcorn and watching the mess unfold. All right, sticker time. What we got? Let's see if we can't. See if we can't get a good zoom for the sticker. Oh, look at that. Man, I love Sony cameras. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Steady hands. Nope, don't like it. Do it again. There we go. That'll do. Even on either side. Straight. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, let's zoom back out. Okay. This guy is gonna go over here. Like that. Are we gonna do it again? Not yet. Looks like we're just doing one side, or at least one side at a time. I do have to apply the stickers, Mike. Now, okay, this is a good conversation. There are things that I will not apply stickers to. Generally, I will not apply stickers to collectibles that I will sell in the original box. For instance, I have upstairs, I have an original Megatron from 1984 that came in the original box without having the stickers on. And it was actually a Valentine's Day present from my ex-wife, who immediately asked, well, are you going to put the stickers on it? Oh, those stickers will stay in the box forever, because if I ever want to sell this thing, I can say this is new in the, or this is in the original box and has never had the stickers applied. And those stickers are old and they're like foil, and if you get them on wrong, you can't reset them. It's just a whole thing. So there are definitely things that I don't trust myself to do the stickers on at all. But yeah. Okay, here's the other side. All right, so this one is identical to the other side, and we're gonna put it on here. And then we've got the other one. Oh, we got more stickers, Mike, just for you. Yeah, it was, so it was like I said, it was a Valentine's Day present. It might have been like the first ever real Valentine's Day present that I ever got. And it was probably like 2002, I guess. And I don't even remember if there was a conversation beforehand. I think like I've still got my Optimus Prime. I've still got a couple of the Transformers jets. Like I still have a handful of them. And at some point, apparently, in conversation, it came up, man, I have no idea what happened to my Megatron. I'd certainly love to get that back. And then for Valentine's Day, it showed up, which, I mean, I feel like when the girl you're dating shows up to Valentine's Day with a mint in the box 1984 Megatron with no stickers applied to it, that kind of seals the deal, right? I mean, I don't feel in the pantheon of warning signs. That's probably not on the list. All right, I'm gonna have to flip this around so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so go in there. Oh, let's get the zoom out of here now that we're done with that. All right. I can't wait for this. Pandemic to be over at some point. Because it would be nice after having kind of rebuilt this entire house and gotten everything where I wanted it to be. It'd be nice to have friends back over. All right, so 202. Looks like we're moving into the last piece that we're going to build out of this bag. That's like that. Four. 205. 205, we get a warning. It says, don't put your eye out, kid. So I guess these are going to be the little Lego shooters, huh? All right. The angled part going out the front. You'll put your eye out, kid. .206, we have these guys. These. All right. Every time I put one of these pieces on, and I don't know if that'll show up or not. Come on, autofocus. My face is out of the way. Zoom. No, there it goes. Every time I put one of these pieces on, it makes me a little bit angry because it's one of the few pieces that I've had in a Lego set that they just didn't put in the bag. For those of you who saw it on stream when we were building the UCSA, at the top of the pilot seat, there's one of those pieces that's supposed to kind of round off the top so that point. And there's supposed to be a left angle and a right angle so that they come together, and they gave me two left pieces. So it's one of those it's one of those deals where it fits on there and you just look at it and you go, damn it. So yes, I went to Bricklink and I ordered the right piece, and as soon as it gets here, I will fix it. Yeah, I mean, it's funny when you think about it, and I think that that's where the nostalgia market kind of comes from. Is there's so much of that stuff that we had as kids that I remember fondly. I mean, I remember the GI Joes, and I remember the Mask, and you know, all of the cars that had that transformed into other vehicles. Like I remember all of my original metal Voltron, and then just piles of Transformers. And I remember, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of them. And as the oldest of 6 kids, when I got done with something, it immediately got handed down into the horde that was all the rest of my brothers and sisters. And so there's so much of that stuff that didn't survive. And so the nostalgia market, I feel like, and it doesn't matter whether it's toys, or whether it's you know, tennis shoes, or whatever it is, I feel like there's a huge market that exists largely to, you know, deal with the sense of loss that many of us have about those things that we didn't really recognize at the time. Oh, wrong color. That we didn't really recognize at the time were going to be as meaningful to us as they were. And so, you know, this entire craze of not just being able to buy these things in the collectors markets and the ratings and the, you know, back in the ago when we could actually do like superhero conferences and show floors and things like that. I mean, not just all of that, but even the new stuff. Like if you guys haven't seen the new, Mike, go look at the Transformer, like the new Transformer models, like the incredibly intricate, takes you 20 minutes to transform them, like meant to be display piece Transformer models. They are spectacular. I mean, it's really, there's some stuff out there that just blows my mind with how far they've come. And does this turn? Oh, look at that. Nifty, nifty. Look, I'm the one with the shoe vault, Nick. We don't have to talk about disposable income with me. I got you, fam. I know how that works. All right, I'm going to take a super quick break. I'm actually going to go call and say goodnight to the kids. I believe we are done with bag 7. And man, there's a lot of extra pieces. Before I finish, let's go back and figure out, because there are 2 of these and 2 of these, and it makes me nervous. They were supposed to go somewhere that I missed. Ah, look at that. You can barely see it, but in substeps 2 and 3 there, these yellow ones actually go in the corner of that elbow piece. So it goes there, and it goes, I'm gonna do this blind, there. All right. All right, and is there anywhere these other 2 corner pieces go? Because those could just be extra. I wouldn't be super surprised if those were extra. It's weird that there would be 2 of them though. Yep, see, look, the other side gets gray, not yellow. We'll live with that. And we got those 2, and we got those 2 on the back. Okay. Good enough. Got some extra pieces. We got an extra gun. I bet you that's Bail Organa's gun. We'll leave that over there with him. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good night. I'll catch up with you later. And I'll take a quick break and I'll be back in probably 5 minutes. the small break. Bag 8. Bag 8. Thanks for looking out for me, Dick. I think I told you this on the last stream. I have my G5. I have my G5 that my son uses. Well, that's not really true. I have my G5 that I typically use for streaming. And I let my son have it because he was going to his grandparents and wanted to be able to game with his friends, and that's cool. Like I'm totally okay with that. What I realized after he left was now I had to find a different system to stream on, and it meant that I had to rebuild the OBS configurations, and it was just a whole deal. So that it's working as well as it is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. What did I want to do? All right. So today was fun, but challenging. Like today was, I needed to kind of go away and take a little quiet time this afternoon. So most of you know I work at Microsoft, and I feel like we've done a really good job with working to make our diversity and inclusion aspirations as realistic as we can. Whether that's from, giving me free reign over hiring and what we do there, whether it's giving us resources, whether it's, building a really amazing and diverse team. Like nobody's perfect. And I think every company has things that they can do better, but I appreciate, particularly compared to other companies that I've worked for, I appreciate what Microsoft tries to do for us. And today, as part of just everything that's been going on, everybody on my team inside developer relations, we got tickets to see a lady named Kim Craden, who does a bunch of different shows, they're not really, I guess they're webinars, but they're interactive events that you can attend online. And the one that we went to today was called An Introduction to Being Anti-Racist. And Where is that going? Oh, in here. And it was a lot. It was good, and it was, I think, necessary, but it was pretty heavy. I mean, it was pretty heavy to hear the perspective of the people who live and experience that I just can't. You know, I can be as empathetic as I want to be. I can be as open and honest, and I can work as hard as I want to, but I'll never have the perspective that someone who lives in the United States as a Black person has. And so having that shown to you in a very real and very visceral and very open and honest and active way, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It was amazing. I am so glad I got to go. I am so appreciative to Ashley Willis and to the rest of the management team that I have at Microsoft for giving us that opportunity. It was amazing. I would absolutely recommend the event, and there's a bunch of them. She does the Introduction to Being Anti-Racist, which includes a really cool podcast that I will find the link for and put down in chat. But she does how to be anti-racist at home. She does how to be anti-racist at work. Like they're very honest and loud and energetic and fun in a very challenging and introspective way. So it was a lot to deal with. I mean, it was done on a Saturday because it's obviously, I mean, it's not a work thing. It's not something that we contracted with her to bring it in. This is her regular event that she has scheduled, and there were people from all over the world who were involved in it, and it was great. It was great. The interesting part is that the interesting part is how some people feel challenged or respond to things like that. From the time it was announced through the actual event, through, I'm sure even afterwards, I am confident that even in a place as progressive and safe as Microsoft, that there had to be people who were offended. There had to be people who felt attacked. Had to be people who weren't on board with this message that they are part of the problem. And that's disheartening. And that's disheartening just in general. Like, you would think, like Nick said in the chat, I'd love to have that for my team. I'd be the first one to sign up. I was doing backflips when they announced this. I was really excited to get that context that there's really realistically no way for me to get elsewhere. Right? I mean, I can't know what that's like. I can't. And that's okay, because that's not my lived experience. That's not my stuff. But at the same time, if I want to be helpful, if I want to be useful in this idea that everybody in America, every American citizen deserves to be treated the same way. Like if I want to be useful in that, I have to understand where people are coming from. Otherwise, it's just a performance to make me feel better. And so I was doing backflips. I was really excited about this. I loved every bit of what we did. And it's frustrating that there are people that I work with every day who may not have been. And that led me to kind of the question of who in my friend circle, who of my friends would be, who would refuse to go to this type of environment where someone with a life experience and with a lived experience that is different than theirs, telling them how they can start their path to being an anti-racist. Like how many of the friends that I interact with on a regular basis would just be unwilling to do it? And I hear you that's a hard to hear message, but I feel like if the message that problem with black people is white people is hard to hear in 2020, after everything that's happened and after everything that's going on, the problem's not the message. Like the problem's not that the message is hard or delivered wrong, or like at some point you have to look in the mirror and say, the problem is that I don't like the message. That I don't like a message that looks at me as part of the problem instead of the savior or instead of the solution. And that's okay. I mean, we all have to start somewhere on that process, but that idea that I'm going to choose not to start because this makes me feel uncomfortable, or this isn't something that I have to deal with or that impacts me, especially when you look at it in a professional setting, when you look at it in a place where our job is to advocate out, to help everyone achieve more, help everyone accomplish more. When you think of the countries and the communities that we do our best to enable, regardless of where they are or where they come from or what color they are or anything like that, and then you realize that there's probably some people who are not super okay with some of the work that we're doing, and that's evidenced by the fact that they're not comfortable sitting in an environment and hearing someone with a different experience in them confirm that for them. It was definitely eye-opening. It was good content. I adored just the uncomfortableness, like just the fighting the urge, like you're not here to defend yourself, you're not here to argue, you're simply here to listen and learn and figure out where you can go from here. Like I loved everything about it and was so excited that Microsoft gave us that opportunity. But it does bring up the question, how many of the people that are around you, how many of the people that are around me are not interested in having that discussion? Even today, even in an America where it feels like we are increasingly polarized simply for the benefit or profit of a few. If you're not willing to not even change, like you can't make people change. People want to and work at it, or they don't and they don't. If you can't even hear the message, if you can't even be okay with the fact that the message is being shared, right? Like this was 100% optional. This was not something that everybody had to do. And the number of emails that I saw reminding people, like, you don't have to bitch about this, you can just not go. I mean, you can see it live, you can watch the recording, or you can complain about it. It was eye-opening. It was eye-opening from both a professional and a personal level. Because I think of the friends that I have in my circle, And while that circle is not completely lacking in diversity, it is probably more white and male than probably as white and male as you would expect. But how many of those people that I deal with or work with or talk to every day, like how many of them would be the people complaining about, you know, why does this black lady curse so much? Or why do I have to do this on a Saturday? Like how many of my friends would be those people? And what do I do about that? Right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it, I think we're gonna call this the Stanley Cam because of Mike's aversion to putting on stickers. We've got 2 stickers to put on here. But it was good, and it was powerful. It was delivered really well. You know, again, I'm very lucky to work where I work. I am very privileged to, you know, have both the personal and professional experiences that I have. This was a special one. This was a good day. Sometimes the good days are the hard days, and that's okay. Today was a good day. And then I took a nap. And now I get to build Legos with my friends and drink. And if that's not privilege smacking you in the face, well, I don't know what is. All right, so these guys go on the back here. Like, oh, let's get out of your zoom. Whoa. Like that. We're going to do this one blind. Like that. There we go. All right, and if you want to see what those look like, let's go like this. And they just sit right here. And then on the other side in the same place. That's a heavy topic. I think we can probably be done with that. Let me find that link for the podcast, and I'll put it in the chat, and then we can be done with that. I believe the name of the podcast deal was Scene On, and I thought I had saved it. Let's see. Let's see. Here it is. All right, it's called Scene On Radio, and that's SCENEON radio.org. And the podcast that we did as homework for Kim's session today is called Seeing White, and it's really great. I mean, there's so much kind of history of kind of whiteness and blackness as social constructs, how it was implemented in America, you know, how the founding of the country was explicitly, you know, kind of saying one thing and doing another thing. It's pretty great. It's a lot. I have found that my Black friends struggle with that a lot. And it takes them a long time to get through that because every one of those episodes hits really close to home for them. Uh, as an they see it as a validation of their experience, which is really cool. Like it's fun to watch that. It's gratifying to watch that. For me, it was education. Right, I just devoured them. I went through probably that entire season of the podcast in 3 days until my head was just so full of things that I knew and didn't know, and things that make sense that I just never put into the right context. So if you get a chance, if my one takeaway from today is give everybody the opportunity to learn how to be better to their country and to their fellow citizens and to the people in their lives that don't get the same opportunities or don't have the same lack of obstacles that we have to overcome. Let it be. Go listen to the podcast. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I think it's Duke University that puts it on. Like it's a Peabody Award-winning podcast, and the Seeing White season that they did is pretty spectacular. So there we go. I'm just going to be quiet and build here for a little, and yeah, it was a good day. All right, that's kind of cool. So we built this little collar, and then we put one of these pieces on so that it can slide directly down and into place, and then attach to the back there. And it fits perfectly, but we didn't have to build up anything to build into it. Like, we built the collar as a standalone and then just slid it down. And here, I'll let you see what that looks like. So here's that collar we just built. Let me slide it off of there, right? And we've got that one piece on the back, and then we've got this to use as kind of the guide to be able to slide it in, and it just slides right down. And it literally is slotted and slides right in, and then we push it down and it locks into place. That's very cool. I don't think I've seen that before. That's pretty cool. They're actually pretty, you see what I mean about them being pretty easy builds, Sean? Like, none of them seem to be gigantic bags. None of them seem to be really dense steps that you've got to spend a lot of time kind of making sure that you've got things in the right place. It feels like, I mean, there's a reasonable amount of detail to the build itself, but it doesn't feel as heavy or as time consuming as like the A-wing or and maybe that's the kind of the UCS difference. But I've been pretty happy with it. You guys need to stand up. Oop. Feels like there had to be a better way to do this. Like, I get what they're trying to do and they're trying to stabilize in there, but man, that feels overly complex. So we've got an axle that's going through a 4-piece with the 3 holes in it, that's going through a 3 stud Technic piece that's held on with a recessed axle, that's going through those 2 vertical pieces that we built way back at the beginning, through another Technic piece that's held on to another 4-piece, all of that simply so we can push those pegs through, and now none of that moves. Like, that just feels like a lot. Like, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that middle part, because that feels way over engineered. But what do I know? What do I know? Yeah, the Saturn V, I think I still have nightmares about the sheer number of those round curved body panels that run all the way up the side, and trying to make sure that everything was straight and that everything ended up where it was supposed to be. The space shuttle was the same way, where by the time you get done with the two outside rocket boosters and then the primary rocket boosters, you've just got so many of those pieces that you've had to put in place and line up and make sure that they are where they need to be. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, and especially with as big as it is, and what I really appreciated about the Saturn V was that each of the sections comes apart in the appropriate place. So you not only have the internal structure of something that's 3 feet tall, but you've got to be able to like compartmentalize off pieces so that it comes off the way it's supposed to. I really I appreciated the engineering in the Saturn V. That was way too many of those outside pieces, and wrapping it around and then building in the striping for the sections of them. Like that was just a lot of, like, I enjoyed that build. I never wanted to have like these outside pieces where you just stacked them together by the dozen and then ran them up one of the sides of it. Hey Tom, how's it going? I couldn't do any more of those. Like the trauma was real from having to put those together. The funny part is I have another Saturn V that's still in the box, and thought about using it as one of the ones that we built on stream, and was just like, ooh, that would involve a lot of drinking, I think, to do that one again. That would be a lot. You and you. Yeah, the helmets are awesome. I actually have one stream video where we built, I think, the Boba Fett one together on stream, and then I just did overhead like time-lapse builds of the other two because they felt really similar, and I thought doing all three of them on stream, I mean, you're basically doing the same build one after the other, wouldn't be a whole lot of fun for people. But did get all three of those built, and some of the internal structure is fine, but some of the trim that they put on there, like, I don't know which one you're building, but the TIE Fighter Trooper, with the way that they did the tubing that comes down off of them, was actually really cool. I appreciated that it felt like they thought out of the box a little bit there, even though it was an awful lot of little pieces to have to put together. But yeah, those are very cool. Those are very cool builds. I actually found did I get the display for those? I don't remember. Wicked Brick does a really cool display. They do cool displays for all sorts of Legos, but they do a cool one for the helmets. And I can't remember whether I got the display for those or whether I was just going to leave them where they are. in the library shelves. But I think if we can get this one done before the end of the stream tonight, and everything goes as expected, we might try that that NDI let's use the cell phone as a remote camera for the stream deal, and take this over and put it in the display, and I'll show you some of the other ones that are sitting over there. Feels like we've got a pretty good chance. What do we got? 2 more bags? 3 more bags? And it's only 10:20? We're doing pretty well. Yeah, I feel like, so who was I talking about this with? I think I was talking about this with Josh Atwell. I hated I forget what the brand name of them was. I mean, they were Lego kits, but they were those like over-shaped heads, and I didn't like them at all. I think I got a Captain America one as a birthday present or a Christmas present from somebody, and I built it, and it was just like, this is not the level of detail that I'm interested in my stuff, and I have to be a little bit careful with what I let myself start collecting, because my brain really likes collecting things, and so once I start something like that, we all have to be prepared that I'm going to go get every one of them forever, and if there were any released before I started working on them, that I am going to go pay stupid amounts of money to get them on the secondary market kind of stuff. So I like the helmets that they put together, the new ones. I see lots and lots of things that they could do in conjunction with the Avengers, whether it's Iron Man or War Machine or, I mean, there's dozens of them that they could do, and those all sound really cool. And I don't know if my Lego budget needs to be expanded out into Disney helmets, Avenger helmets, but you never know. Okay, what did I do wrong here? So here's my problem. I have 2 of these left, which I should have 2 of these left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the right ones. These are the wrong ones, because these should only be 6 long and these are 8, which means there are ones that are 8 long that I used somewhere else in this bag as I was talking to you and not paying attention to what I was building. So let's zip back through. Yeah, the one like robin blue piece in the entire set. Yeah, I noticed that one too. 6. Do we think it's that? No, those are right. Because when we put these on, they came 1 extra out. Okay, are they just the wrong size? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. We're going to do a left side and a right side. and one of them is going to do 6 plus 2, and one of them is going to do 8. So for once, I didn't screw it up. I just assumed that we were going to double up on that, and we're not. Not the worst mistake I've ever made. And on this side, we go with the 8. And with the yellow one over here, throw you on there. And that's how we're going to attach them, huh? Right? Go like that. Then we do the same thing on the other side. And they go like that. And then this whole thing, look at that, slides right into place there. Excellent. Okay. We've got some little pieces left, but it doesn't look like there's anything. There's a lot of these. Let's do a quick check before we move on to the next bag, because 5 of those extra, like these ones I can see, these are all one-offs, whatever. 5 of those extra feels like maybe I missed something. So we do a quick cruise through. Yep, I missed it right there, didn't I? It's in subset 2 of that, right in the middle. So let's pull this back off. And you know what, I could probably get away with not fixing it, but since I caught it, we're going to see if we can fix it without breaking too much stuff here. All right, so here's what I messed up. See in the middle here, we've got these pieces that fit the middle, we've got these pieces that fit on the side. There's 4 recessed holes, 2, 3, 4, and they were supposed to have these little 1 dot pieces in them. And everything fit without them, but you just had 4 less dots that were holding everything together. So we're fixed. We are put back together, and we are back on the ship. Moral of the story there is, when you get to the end of a bag and you look at what you have left, and it feels like maybe there's too many of those, there's probably too many of those. So we'll stick these over in the boneyard. All right. Here's bag 9. How you doing, Sean? You weren't that far behind me at that point. It feels like you caught up a little bit. I like this. This looks good. We're going to give Bale his blaster, I think. I'm going to make Bale left-handed. All right. I think while we're waiting for Sean, I think I'm going to try out this NDI thing again. And we're going to try to make the audio work better this time. So what I think we're going to do is, I wonder if I can just mute the audio on here. It's got a setting. Oh, I can just mute it. Look at that. All right, so let's try it. Let's try it with it muted. Let's turn on that NDI source. All right. So I'm interested to see how this is doing now. I have the phone running as an NDI source. So we should be able to kind of look around the model a little bit here and kind of see what's going on. And it looks like it's a little jittery on my side too. I'm interested to see how that's showing up on stream. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little bit jittery. And that I'm almost positive is going to be because everything's using the wireless. So it's not terrible. And I don't know how it's going to work when we go try to do like a full remote shot. But it feels like for stuff like this that we wouldn't necessarily get any other way. That's pretty cool. All right, so how was that? Let's see what we got. Wi-Fi, yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh, we're finishing drinks at the end of bags now? I thought we finished the drink. I thought we finished the drink at the end of every 69 steps because that was the most inappropriate thing we could possibly think of. The end of every bag is going to be tough. Especially since I seem to just forget to eat all the time these days. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with bag 9. Get that back out of the way. Is this a problem you have too, Nick? Like, I admit that I'm new to the whole not having cut my hair in a year kind of thing, but I swear to you that everywhere there ends up being stray hair. It's ridiculous. I don't know how you people live like this. I still don't know how you do the beard, man. Like the hair's been a struggle for me. And that's been kind of COVID induced. I don't know how you do the beard. I did okay for a while. And then I think it was actually before one of these streams where I couldn't do it anymore. Like I couldn't handle the beard. I think maybe I'm not qualified to be in tech. Okay. 3 of those. You go there, you go there. Looks like 3 is the magic number for this set. What do I mean, you people? I mean you long-bearded tech freaks. That's what I mean. Who I definitely think are a subset well-defined enough to be worthy of a you people. I mean, when you have your own meetups at conferences, yeah, if you don't, I don't know if you know Sean, I don't know if you know Nick. Nick, I don't know if you know Sean. Nick's beard is, substantial? Ridiculous? Amazing? I don't know, there's lots of words that I feel like you could use for Nick's beard. V-beards. Oh God. All right, we've definitely seen these in other sets before, but I figure why not? We can go ahead and show them off here too. There it is, it showed up. So we've got a little R2-D2 and a little C3PO that are gonna go with this set as well. Sweet. Makes me happy. I kind of like that. I bet especially if I get this thing wired up, the laptop itself, and I should have my real laptop back for the next stream maybe. But if I get this thing wired up and then use the phone for the remote shots, like I think that'll be pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so let's start building. Looks like we're going to do 3 of these. So my guess is this is going to be the top motors that go on there. Who knows? We'll see. Looks like we're going to take 3 of these and we're going to stack them up. And then this is going to be the same technique from the first set of motors that we built, where we take one of those and one of those, and then we put a post in it, an axle in it. I would say that Nick's beard is probably more significant than Kyle's. Knowing both of them, Nick's beard is definitely more substantial. I feel comfortable saying that. I feel like if Hagrid had an illegitimate child that was only as tall as you, one would have to suspect that the other parent had been a dwarf. Because if you were like 6'8", that beard would be something epic. But Nick is all over social media. The Data Center Dude Discord server and the Data Center Dude YouTube channel. I've been working with both of those for a while. We've got some stuff we're trying to cook up for VMworld. We're going to see how that goes. But Nick, if you want to drop a link to the Discord server in there for Sean and for the rest of the folks. I think Tom is already in there. That'd be awesome to be able to get them over and in, because it's good stuff. I've been kind of continually impressed with the diversity just in backgrounds and things that people are good at and people care about over there. It's been a huge help for me setting up the streaming studios and for setting up like OBS that we're using here. None of that was a skill set that I had before the pandemic hit, and the folks over in the Discord have been pretty spectacular at lending their expertise and recommending different models and things to buy and that sort of stuff. So it would be yeah, I would definitely. This one is very kind of tech community. So building a new Discord account that kind of takes into account your professional persona and being able to network and that sort of stuff. I'd almost think of it kind of as a professional network kind of thing. Maybe even line it up more with LinkedIn or with wherever it is that you're kind of managing your professional persona. Lots of good people in there. Lots of people kind of in the position to do hiring, stuff like that. But whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. I've been pleasantly surprised, having not been a huge Discord user before Nick stood that up and then invited me over. It's been pretty cool to kind of watch how everything has worked. All right, so we got all three of those built. What do we do next? Oh, we attach them. All right, let's see if we can't do this in a way where we can kind of all watch. This ought to be fun. All right, so you'll notice on the back, we built these two big frames to be able to put them. And so this says that we are attaching them to this bottom rail. And it looks like the first one goes in the outermost hole that's there. So I'm going to try to do this on camera. Good luck. There? Is that right? Let me see. Yep. All right. So we put one in there, and look, it actually ends up being symmetrical with the other two. So we'll take the other one and we'll go all the way to the other side. And make sure that I've got that lined up. All right, so we'll put you in there. And again, nice and symmetrical. And then we'll take the last one and we'll put it right in the middle like that. So we've got all 7 engines and we've got them all nice and evenly spaced out. Pretty cool. All right, before we start on 259, I'm gonna go grab another drink. I encourage all of you to as well. I'm not gonna put it on the be right back. I just have to walk to the kitchen. Don't go anywhere. All right. For a second, we are going another one of these lemonade hard seltzers. This one is black cherry. Is that right? Black cherry lemonade. All right. Let's get that over there out of the way. All right, so we're on 259. Let's get these over there. All right, so with these, what it looks like we've built is something that we can certainly extend on. So we've got the flat plate where I'm assuming this is going to attach, and then it gives us 8 studs to be able to build on the front, and then 6 on either side, be able to attach things on the side. So in a pretty small amount of space, we've given ourselves, 3, 4 different angles that we can build off of, which is kind of cool. I wonder what we're going to do with these. Now we're going to build the other side. Ooh, ow. Was it 251 where I skipped those circles? Let's see. Yes, that's exactly where it was. In step 2, subset 2 of that, you can see the 4 single stud pieces, round single stud pieces that are on either side of the 2 handles. and I totally missed them. And I should have known better because it tells you in the parts list for 251 that there's 4 of those being used, and I just didn't pay attention. So yes, it was definitely 251 where I missed those. All right, there we got the whole thing built, and now we got to put sides on it. I wonder where this is going to go. Maybe these go over here? I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens with these. Six. All right. And then we do the other side. And that goes there. And on the bottom, now is where we do the flip pieces. Okay. Which they actually put in a different bag for us because they're nice. All right. Okay. Almost caught up. I bet you if we find one more topic for me to go off and start telling stories about, that you'll get caught up in no time. There. So that's what that is. That ends up being one of the pieces sticking off the side. It's 11 o'clock. We've got 3 bags left. I don't know that we're gonna finish it tonight, boys. I don't know that we're gonna finish it. We'll have to see. The bags have definitely started going slower as we get into more of the detail build. I would like to finish it tonight though. That would make me happy. Because then we can discuss what we want to build next. Maybe we'll do a deal where like I'll build something on stream and then give it away or donate it. Because I'm a moron and have a fair number of sets where when I got one I was just like, eh. What's the name of the guy in Contact? Arthur Haddon, who runs Haddon Industries, where he says, why buy one when you can buy 2 at twice the price? There are a fair number of sets that I have that I just went ahead and bought 2 of them. You never know if they're going to get collectible, or like if the kids want to have one at my house and one at their mom's house. Like, you just never know what the situation will call for. So I have multiple Saturn V's. I think I got 2 of the Apollo 11 landers. I got 2 of the Voltron kit. What else do I have an extra of? I don't know. We could go out in the garage and look, but there are a few of them that, I mean, I already have one built and have it in the library where it's being displayed. But there's an identical one that's sitting in a box that I certainly wouldn't mind. Is that right? Yeah, it's gonna go like that. Certainly wouldn't mind using on stream, especially if everybody enjoys this kind of stuff and having fun with it. Ooh, sorry for the yawn. In fact, it's ridiculous. I took a 2-hour nap this afternoon and I'm still yawning. Ridiculous. That was one of that was 258, only one step. Not only has 5 sub-steps, but one of those has 3 sub-steps. Yeah. Are we 258? Let's see. Oh, the 3 top engines? Yeah, it feels... What's funny is it feels like it's one page that ends up having 10 minutes worth of work on it. But they are all identical, so I can kind of get why they did it that way. Just feels weird. Oh, I went too far. The message that I just got was from one of my friends. Oh, we got another baby blue piece. Step 285, John. We get, I think, the second, eggshell blue piece that's in the kit. He was asking if I wanted to run any dungeons tonight in Destiny. Which, of course, the only acceptable answer is hell yeah, I'll run dungeons in Destiny, because I like Destiny and I like running dungeons. Looks like I'm almost done with this bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? Yep. And you go in there like that. Oh, interesting. So oh, I see what I messed up. I'm an idiot. I was like, that's weird. That doesn't line up the same way that it does on the other side. What is going on? And then I realized it's because after I put this together, I should have put these 2 pieces on the bottom, which raise me 1/3 of a brick, which means bingo, everything lines up like it should. Don't be a dummy. Now, we'll go around the outside, Trailer Park Girls going around the outside. And that goes there. And that goes there. And this whole thing is going to go... That's interesting, they don't actually show it on the piece. Oh, they do, I'm an idiot. Whole thing goes there like that. And this whole thing, we're going to try to do it without looking. Can't do it without looking. Wah, wah. Goes there like that. There we go. And thus do we end the adventure that is bag number 9. Oh, well, here's fun. Dr. Disrespect issues statement, Twitch ban reasoning still unknown. For those of you who've been following along, the last week really has been kind of a bloodbath on the streaming, kind of professional streamer side of story after story of just guys being assholes. And one of them who we haven't seen, I mean, we've seen some big name streamers that were implicated in doing terrible things end up getting deplatformed. One of them that never really showed up in the like in the discussion was Dr. Disrespect until Friday. They just turned him off and banned him from Twitch forever and refunded everybody who had subscribed to him. And I want to say he had 4 million subscribers. I mean, something bananas. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month off of that Twitch platform, and they just deleted him. And it says, Dr. Disrespect tweeted that the streaming platform has not notified him of a reason for the ban. I find that hard to believe. Abruptly ended his channel on Friday. Hours later, his channel was removed from Twitch. Subscribers were refunded their monthly fees. And both Dr. Disrespect's agent and his PR rep declined to comment on Friday. A report said that his ban was permanent and not related to DMCA takedowns for use of copyrighted music. And the quote from Twitch was, "As is our process, we take appropriate action when we have evidence that a streamer has acted in violation of our community standards or terms of service. These apply to all streamers regardless of status or prominence in the community." I would argue that's not been true at all. I'd argue that Twitch has very much played fast and loose with the rules all the way up to and including, you know, the comments that their CEO has made around, you know, what are you going to do with stuff that happens on our platform? So I would argue this is an article that actually just got released on ESPN that I got an alert on my phone for. And it looks like we still don't have any actual. We don't have any actual reason yet, but apparently Dr. Disrespect did tweet and said that they haven't notified him of a reason for the ban, which again, I guess everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt, and I don't know him any more than I know anybody anywhere, but see. His tweet was, "Champions Club, Twitch has not notified me on the specific reason behind their decision. Firm handshakes to all for the support during this difficult time." I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone and we'll see how it plays out over the next little bit. I mean, yeah, I saw that rumor. I've seen a couple other ones where like there were allegations that rather than getting aired on social media were actually being managed through law enforcement. I mean, his wife has come out and said thanks for all the support, but we really don't know anything yet. Except now that we know he publicly said that Twitch hasn't given him a reason for the ban. I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of deplatforming assholes. I feel like it's not a culture of cancel, it's consequences for things that people have done. That said, I don't know anything here. I don't know what the deal is. So it'll be, we'll find out at some point. There's too much money at stake and there's too much PR involved for us not to actually figure out what happened at some point. But that alert popped up on my phone, so I thought I would share. I have some friends, Jason and Nick, who's in the chat right now, who are big in the World of Warcraft scene, and there have been a couple guilds, are they called? I've never played World of Warcraft, so again, we're way out of my element. But there have been a couple guilds that seem to have been populated by some pretty impressive shitbags. And the consequences for the guilds not taking care of some of that behavior when they had the opportunity to has now become real and immediate for them. But I say good. I say that any community, whether it's a tech community or a gaming community, a neighborhood community, whatever the community is, it is better off for every person who feels safe, for every person who feels like it represents them or that they want to be associated with it. And even outside of some of just the terrible shit that has been alleged against some of these folks, like even outside of that, we build communities to let everyone in. And there are definitely some of these communities where I don't blame, I don't want to speak for y'all, I don't blame women for not wanting to be anywhere near them. I don't blame people of color for not wanting to be anywhere near them. We can fix that though. We can make things better. We just have to want to. I mean, let's be honest, tech has had its impressive share of assholes. I mean, tech has had some stories that, have happened and have gone around the community where it's just unbelievable sometimes the things that people do and then just kind of put up their hands and say, I didn't know that wasn't okay. So I'm not going to, I'm not here to pick on streaming culture or, tut down the bridge of my nose at the people involved in any of this stuff. I'm just saying, don't be an asshole. Because when people get brave and start sharing their truth, and they bring receipts, no one's gonna feel bad for you. Certainly not me. I'm not gonna feel bad for you. I never logged into World of Warcraft, Sean. I played Asheron's Call 2 with a bunch of friends for a long time until they shut that down. And then I played City of Heroes, which I adored for a long time until they shut that down. And then I had kids. And that kind of shut that down. All right, so this is bag 10, right? Okay. All right. Let's get it started. Got 4 of these. put in here. I don't know if that's on camera. Let's slide you over that way. There we go. 3, 4. And then it looks like we're building more engines on top. Damn, I didn't remember how many engines there were on this thing. That's pretty crazy. All right. Let's start with one of these. Yee! That was almost a disaster. Put 3 of these together, put it in the middle, and 2 of you, and then 1 of you. See, I used to be huge in WoW. I ran a raiding guild and chased server first in the TBC, which I don't know what any of those letters mean. Then achievements happened and that died out for the most part. Are they like Bungie, where they only find the fun stuff and kill it? Because that I'm very acquainted with. Oh, stickers. Stickers. All right, let's clear some room. Clear some room so we can go with the Stanley can. All right. What stickers are we putting on here? Number 4. Ooh, wraps all the way around too. All right. That near the top. Like this. Okay, here we go. Hey, look. There's a piece of hair. All right. Here we go. Bam. Look at that, Mike. Jackpot. Straight, even on both sides. Killed it. All right. And now what do we got? That's fair. I think the parallels of the LFG, LFR have been similar across lots of different groups, especially when, I mean, nobody goes into a raid at this point not knowing what they're supposed to do, unless you are trying for like a world's first, or I mean, even Bungie still does a pretty good job of kind of organizing the world's first stuff and putting, you know, experience caps in place so everybody's competing at the same level, regardless of what power leveling they've done, that sort of thing. But other than that, it's just as easy for me to hit up the Discord LFG server and find a group of people who I know are all doing the same thing as it is to try to find my way into and build a relationship with a guild or with a clan to be able to do it. I can certainly see that being real. No, I absolutely don't. And I'll be honest, I recognize and understand and appreciate my addictive personality, and that it's served me well in my life and in my career. I know friends, and Mike Stanley is one of them who was on stream earlier. Like, I know friends who had to physically break themselves of World of Warcraft, that it became kind of an all-encompassing thing. And I would have been right there with him. I mean, I know this about myself. So I don't regret at all that World of Warcraft was one of those things that never got on my radar. I don't have a Blizzard account. Well, I have a Blizzard account because Destiny used to use Blizzard as their PC hosting platform, but never logged in, never had an account, never, I did EverQuest for a while. I did Asheron's Call for a good long time. I loved City of Heroes. That was in my wheelhouse. That one sucked an awful lot of my time away. No doubt. All right, so this is done and we just don't do anything else with it? We just set it aside? Okay. Side quest. That's too much like real life, Sean. That's too much like managing people at work. Bag 10, you're almost there. Tried to slow roll it a little bit. We've still got 3 bags to go though. It's 11:25. I don't think we're going to finish tonight, Sean. I think we may need to do maybe a Tuesday stream. I'm going to try doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And we can finish this one up, and then we can kind of look through the shelves and see what other sort of kits I have laying around. Figure out what we want to do next. Oh, did I miss a piece? Look at that. There's a subset. There's a sub breakout on 318. It shows another one of those damn little one dots. Yep, I totally missed it, didn't I? Those seem to be my nemesis tonight. They're going at the front of that, so it's actually going right there. I think just gives it something else to attach to? No? No, it just shows up on top, so maybe it'll be used for something else, but that's the second time I have missed those little one dot pieces being used. Need to pay more attention. Go back to 318, right. All right. And that goes on this side like so. So these are a lot like the ones that we built on the bottom. And my guess is going to be that we're going to attach them on the top like this. And then we'll have probably 4 more engines. Good times, good times. I honestly didn't remember that there were so many damn engines on the back of this thing. We attach that anywhere, or we just hang out with it? Looks like we just hang out with it. All right. Oh. Guess what I found, Sean? Another baby blue piece. It's like 1 per bag, just to keep you on your toes. Oh, that one's got a little grate on it. They're probably not the ones we want over here. You and you. And you. And then the grate goes there. That's interesting. They didn't make us put the sticker on that one. Flip it over. All right, and then we attach this whole thing here. Yep. Snip, snap. And then we've got these like paint rollers. And it looks like the paint rollers are going to go in here facing out. Oh, no. They're going to go like that facing out. All right, there we go. And what do they want us to do with that? Oh, still got more. Same thing as before, where we take one of the translucent orange pieces and we put a 4 plate on top of it. And we stick that down in the middle. And we put the wheel piece on the outside and we slide the whole thing into the back. Now what do we do with it? Okay. So these are going to attach to those 4 posts that we put on at the beginning. And it looks like it's going to attach to the inside because there's 4 holes. And they don't do a great job of highlighting which of the holes it is that you're using. So it looks like we're going to do the ones that are going to be on the inside of the ship. Like is that right? I get that? That's outside, that's inside, yep. Inside of the ship, just like that. All right. 331. I don't know that there's any avoiding it, but there's a lot of repetition in the back of the ship. They were probably smart splitting it up so that we didn't do probably 7, number 8 of these at a time. It's probably smart that they didn't make us do all 8 of them, or we'd just be upset at them by now. But no mystery here. Exact same build. Which means another opportunity for me to miss using those little 1.1 stud pieces. I will do my best not to let you down. All right. Oh, missed a piece. Now we're good. For the record, I remembered. Yes. I remembered. There we go. Let's do it again in the opposite direction. Right. Blue piece. Still don't know what's up with the blue pieces, Sean. Just seems kind of random. But there we go. And this one's going to go the same way, and it looks like we're going to do that same, like the inside two, although they do even less of a good job showing how that's going to work here. So I'm just going to assume it's the same as the other side, where we're going to go on those inside two holes, and it sits down nice and snug like that. And it's symmetrical. And we just got a couple little spare pieces here. Nothing surprising, nothing out of control. Into the boneyard. Bag 11. We got 20 minutes. We can definitely get through bag 11. hold the OCD in check, and we're just going to build so that we can get this one done. Don't think neat, just build. I feel like, Nick, we may need to do a Destiny dungeon run / Bull Durham synchronized viewing party. Because that sounds fun. I'm definitely down with that. Okay, bag 11. It looks like we've got the other 2 engines on the outside. So the good news is, we're pretty good at building these by now. We should be able to just fly through. Nothing new, nothing interesting. Bag 11 is literally, it appears to be almost identical. I bet there'll be some different trim on the top, but it's almost the exact same thing as bag 10. Necessary evil with the way the back end of this thing is built. So there you go. There we go, white, and gray with the holes, gray with the holes. You? Oh, we got stickers on one of these. All right, where's my Stanley cam? We're gonna do sticker number 2. There's one of these right here. All right. Oh, nailed it! Just for you, Mike. So I just did a quick scan, Sean. I think I got 5 baby blue pieces in this bag. Looks like we're stepping up the baby blue game. All 5 in bag 11, yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 6. I got 6. I got these. So 2 of those with the rails on the side, and then 4 of the just a little one plate flat top. All in bag 11. What, did I miss an entire row here? What did I do? What the hell is going on here? I did. There we go. And then we built all this on top. Okay. And then those fit the way they should. Yes. And yes. And then these fit the way they should. Yes and yes. There. All right. That. What's going on here? Yeah, that's right. So this is actually too low. That's interesting. All right, so the bottom of that has to be flush with the corner, even though that piece can actually go down another block. Because if you don't, it won't, the circle plate that's on here won't fit when you put the wing on. All right. Flip it over. 2 rails go here. And then that guy, and then this. And what did I miss? I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay, well, I missed the entire step of 392. Okay. And then this goes in there. We flip it around. Ooh. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. You, and there's one of our blue pieces. And a gray flat, so you. And that goes on there. Back over, we got more paint rollers. Let's go there, there. And then we've got the motor on the back. Okay, we're looking good. And this is going to go on the far side. All right, and there's only one spot for it to go. All right. Bag 11 is just the two outside motors. I mean, bag 11 and bag 10 are almost identical. There's a little bit of difference. It looks like the slant on them is steeper, like it takes into account the fact that it's the outside of the ship. But bag 11 is literally just two more of the engines with the body section that they attach to, and that's it. And I think this is actually going to end up being, I was hoping to get it all done tonight, but I want to kind of respect that 3-hour time slot that everybody comes and hangs out for. So I don't want to say, hey, let's just keep building till it's done. So we've got 2 more bags after this. So I think I'm going to finish this one up, and then we're going to call it a night. And then we'll do the next stream on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we'll do the last 2 bags. And then we will take it over and we'll find where we want to put it in the library. Figure out how we want to display it. I don't think the Wicked Brick display case, the display stand, is going to be here by then. I know they were closed down for a while and they're having all sorts of delays with the shipping, which I'm totally fine with. I get it. I'm just glad that they're open and that everybody, you know, business-wise is doing okay. But we can at least get it over there and figure out kind of what spot we're going to go in, and we can kind of wander around the library and look at some of the stuff that's already been built, that sort of thing, and then figure out what we want to do next. So hopefully the next stream, I don't think we're going to need the full 3 hours. We can tell more stories, make fun of Nick's beard some more. You know, all the good stuff in life. All the good stuff in life. And I think for next week, I'll have to do some testing, but I think I'm going to try to figure out how to do like a remote camera. Whether it's one of the DSLRs or whether it's my phone or whatever it is. I think I'm going to put some time into figuring out how to do a remote on the stream. We're gonna go back to the Stanley cam here real quick because it's sticker time. Mike's gonna be so amused that we've officially named that the Stanley cam. All right. Oh, there we go. Boom. Right? And this was the step, it was one of the steps. I mean, let's be honest, I've missed a few steps. This was one of the steps we missed last time, so we'll do this one the way we're supposed to. We don't have to go back and do it. We'll use another one of Sean's favorite baby blue pieces. Then we'll build up on top with you and you, and cap it off with that. And then we've got these, that, and that, facing out, facing out, cap on the top. One, two, making sure it's even on the bottom. One, two, making sure it's even on the bottom. And we build the wings. Yep. And on the other wing. You go in there like that. And all right, and then this attaches in here. We've got to put our studs and our facing on the back here. Go blue, blue, black, black. We are going to put our paint rollers on the outside. And then we're going to build our last of these engines for this bag anyway. All right. Put our paint rollers on, build our engine. Look at that, I did that entire sheet of instructions without needing them because I've done them so many effing times. And then you go on there. Okay. We got our 4 engines on the top. We've got kind of 2 sets. These 2 are symmetrical, these 2 are symmetrical. Oh, look at that. One of my blue pieces, it's actually an extra. We're actually gonna have an extra blue piece. Whatever shall we do? Okay, that is the end of bag 11, and we are almost exactly at 3 hours. We're 3 hours and a minute over. So I think we're gonna use that as a good stopping point, and we will pick up Tuesday at 9 p.m. We'll go ahead and finish off bags 12 and 13, and the plan is to finish them off, and whether we have the Wicked Brick display stand or not, we're going to go put it over in the library with the rest of the models and figure out where it's going to be. We'll take a look around over there and see what we've already got built, and then I guess together we'll figure out what we want to build next. I mean, obviously the Star Destroyer is no, Sean, go ahead, finish it out. I mean, you're almost done. That way we can all pick up on step 12. The Star Destroyer is certainly top of mind for me for things that we can do. I've got a couple little ones that if we've got some extra time, maybe we can do those on Tuesday. And then we can always go out into the garage and find out what I have extras of. I know Voltron's out there. I know the Apollo 11 lander is out there. I know the Saturn V is out there. I want to say that there's a Star Wars model or two, but it's been, I mean, I moved over into the house and kind of threw them out in the garage and don't remember at all which ones I have out there that are extra. I know I don't have an extra Imperial Star Destroyer or a Millennium Falcon because I'm ridiculous, but I'm not that ridiculous. But I may have a Slave One. I may have a Y-Wing. What else is over there? I may have a Snowspeeder. I don't know. We'll have to see. But thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, Sean. Good to see you, Nick. Good to see you, Tom. Hope everything's going okay with you. I know it's been a rough couple months here for you. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for becoming the namesake for the Stanley Cam anytime we got to put stickers on. But good stream. One more to go, and we'll finish up the Tantive. So I will see everybody Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Have a good night, everyone.